Well then, all right, so my phone has been on D&D all day as I'm recording and editing podcast episodes. Just recorded a really sweet episode, by the way, with Garrett Sisti from the Lightning Round podcast. We did a Chargers overview from a fantasy football standpoint that's coming out tomorrow, maybe tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling. But finally decided to take a break and take a look at my phone, assuming I was on the clock in about 40-plus underdog best ball drafts. And then, of course, I see not only, much to my Packers broken heart, not only did Julio Jones not sign with the Green Bay Packers, which is what I've wanted since they drafted Christian Watson. He'd be a perfect mentor for Christian Watson. Not only did he not sign with the Packers, he signed with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's a double whammy for Packers fans like me who wanted Julio here. But I'm not here to weep at you as a Packers fan. I'm here to chat with you about fantasy football. And this is a significant maneuver in the fantasy football landscape. Julio Jones enters a Tom Brady pass-heavy offense. We've seen that offense support 3 wide receivers in recent years with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown, which, by the way, if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, Julio Jones, he was injured last year, he might be a little bit washed up. A lot of people thought the exact same thing about Antonio Brown, and he came in and was immediately relevant before we won't even get into that. But Julio Jones, it's likely that he has plenty left in the tank to be effective when he has a quarterback like, the greatest quarterback of all time throwing him the football. Tom Brady can make any wide receiver relevant and relevant again. Mike Evans, I've been treating as a wide receiver 5 all year. That's not really changing. Maybe wide receiver 7, wide receiver 8, but he's still a guy I'd be really excited to have on my team in fantasy football. The biggest faller in this scenario is Russell Gage. He took a very, very significant hit in fantasy value right now. A lot of people liked Russell Gage this year simply because of opportunity, right? Chris Godwin looked like he might miss week 1. That left Russell Gage as the number 2 option in a Tom Brady offense. And if I was the number 2 option in a Tom Brady offense, that would be appealing from a fantasy football standpoint. Now Julio Jones is there. That creates at least some sort of confusion as to who's really going to be the wide receiver 2. It's also being reported that Chris Godwin just might be ready by week 1 anyway, in which case we know it's going to be Mike Evans 1, Chris Godwin 2, or vice versa. Doesn't even matter. But then who's going to be wide receiver 3? Is that going to be Julio Jones? Is that going to be Russell Gage? Time will tell. Russell Gage is currently drafted in the 10th round of fantasy football drafts. I think that ADP is set to drop a bit, whereas Julio Jones, he's currently drafted in the 17th round of fantasy football drafts. He's basically been free all summer. Frankly, I've been banging the table for him. I've been drafting him left and right in my best ball leagues, thinking he was going to go to the Green Bay Packers. But if you play fantasy football, this is not a bad spot at all for Tom Brady to land. This is a very exciting spot for Julio Jones and anybody who's rostering Julio Jones. His 17th round ADP, that is set to climb. I think that guy's going to land somewhere in the 11th, 12th, 13th round immediately, like starting now. In my fantasy football draft kits, which, by the way, if you haven't seen those, go to basementbroodff.com and click the spot that says Dominate Your Draft. In fact, I'll just drop it right into the description of this as well. But in my draft kits, which are just $10 until the end of July, August 1st, I actually moved Russell Gage down and Julio Jones up. They're both now in the same tier, which is tier 4B. I'm treating both guys as high-end wide receiver 4 with upside for more. So hope that helps. Looking forward to chatting with you soon. Cheers. This brew's for you.